Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. You saw the title, so let's get into it. This comes from, what is this, WJLE.com. I guess it's a local news affiliate out in Tennessee. And the story says, new state law will require schools to hold back third graders who aren't proficient in reading. Now, quick story. When I was, matter of fact, in third grade, I can remember Miss Coleman's class, John Runyon, elementary. I could read. So let's make no mistake about it. I could read. Shoot, when I was a kid, and I remember these things because parents, they may still have them, but I remember they had like cassette tapes. For those youngsters who don't know what a cassette tape is, Google it. She had cassette tapes of herself reading stories to me when I was a baby. And fast forward a few years later when my sister was born, she would do the same thing. Matter of fact, I would call like my sister, like I said, my mom would read the story to my sister like every night, a bedtime story. Okay, so my sister was young, little, maybe 2-3 years old, maybe, and she had a friend that stayed behind us. And she was like a couple of grades older than my sister. But anyway, I remember they was reading these books. My sister brought her books, and they was over to the house, outside in the backyard. My sister brought her books out, and they was going to read them. And the girl was trying to read the book, was reading the stories, and somewhere she would get stomped on. And I'm sitting here watching my sister look at the book, and whatever words the girl got stomped on, my sister would know. Now my sister was not in school at the time, understand it. So I'm like, I was intrigued, like how in the hell did my sister know these words? So I kind of went over there and I watched it. What she did was, she could count the words. You know what I'm saying? Because she would remember, like my mom read the story over and over and over again so much, and my sister had pretty much memorized the story. But with the memorization, she could also see the words, knew what it looked like, and knew what it said. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is, a memorization. So she would like count the words and say, oh, that word is such and such. And I'm like, oh, that's the coolest trick in the book, neatest trick in the book. But again, it actually helped her read. And like I say, I had tapes, like I said, with my mom did this same way. So again, I can read. So I remember in third grade, I was probably maybe one of the best readers in the class. Now, mind you, I did go to private school first couple of years of school. So that didn't hurt either. But so I'm in class, doing good, making good grades, blah, 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 I can read. Teacher recognized this. We had a student in the class. This cat couldn't read. Third grade now. He could not read up to a third grade level. Could barely. Thinking he could barely read. Let's just say that. And so she would have me like take him to the side, certain times of the class, and kind of help him read, try to teach him how to read. True story. And it was like 4-letter words. And he couldn't say the words. And I was just dumbfounded, like, how in the heck you cannot read in the third grade? Because I can read, but I thought that was just normal to me. You feel me? That was normal to me, that's my normal life. So, but I didn't look down on him. So, you know what I'm saying? And a matter of fact, now I think that little piece of my life kind of helped mold the person that I am, because I love teaching people. I love coaching, I love helping people. That's something that I'm passionate about. So something like that might have helped out, what I'm saying, grooming me to the person I am now. But anyway, like I say, so when I see this, we're talking mid to early 80s, and I see this 30 years later, and nothing has changed, and it's sad, man. It is sad. But like I said, you saw the title of the video. If a child can't read, parents, it is your fault. And I'm gonna get into that the more as I get to the story, because this is a nice little article. We gotta break it down. So let's break it down. It says, this is by a guy named Dwayne Page. I'm gonna give him his credit. It said, this spring, if your child is in the 3rd grade, a single test could determine if they can go on the 4th grade or if they'll be held back. And this reminds me down here in Texas, you got this STAR test. I think in private schools, ITBS test, TOS test. These tests, these proficiency tests, they give these students, that they give us at the end of certain years, that if we don't pass, we can't go on to the next grade. It's so, like, I can use the word detrimental to the education system, the public education system, to where public education truly is a joke. I mean, seriously. Because all they do is teach to the test. And you got kids who can't read. You know what I'm saying? Don't have basic skills, but they understand that test to where they can pass it. So these schools won't get, won't lose funding. Just to break it down, they won't lose funding. So that's why they tell these teachers to teach to the test. What's funny about it is everybody knows this, and nobody's doing anything about it. I mean, that's what the government wants, so that's what the schools do, and nobody wants to change the process. And you wonder why you got these kids that don't know nothing when they get out of high school. And then we do dumb things like go to college and pay $50,000 a year for a little piece of paper that ain't really worth much, ain't worth that much. Anyway, it says according to the state, only 37% of those students read proficiently. The percentage is about the same locally. It's probably the same thing nationally, And then it says click the link below. As a matter of fact, because it's showing that the parents, they got letters. They got letters from the Board of Education. Like, this is one for DeKalb County, and it says that beginning with the 22-23 school year, a student in 3rd grade shall not be promoted to the next grade level unless the student is determined to be proficient in English language arts based on the student's achieving a performance level rating on track or master in the ELA portion of the student's most recent Tennessee Comprehensive Assessment Program test. This is not a local decision, but a state law. So, remember that sentence. This is not a local decision, but a state law. It said the primary determining factor will be your child's 3rd grade ELA TCAP test. Below is information that can help you understand the new law. So, like I said, the reason why I say it's the parents' fault is because you got a letter. And there's like 3 letters here that they sent you telling you your kid needs to learn how to read. So why do I blame the parents? Because, like I said, I go with my own story. My mom read to us. And yes, I did grow up with 2 parents who are still married. My mom would read to us as children every night for bedtime stories. We go to school, our parents put us in private school for the most part. They my sister in private school, all of standard high school, I think. I was like in and out. Went a couple of years here, went to public school, a couple of years in, and went back to public school, stayed in public school. I went to Montessori. Matter of fact, I went to Montessori school in junior high, and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Telling too much business. But everyone, and I know, everyone does not have the ability, does not have maybe the financial ability to send your kids up to a private school. That's fine. But when I was a baby, we lived in the heart of Pleasant Grove, of PG, Texas, like Luke 12 and Jim Miller in Grove Village. If you know about Grove Village, you know about Grove Village. We lived in that area. So we wasn't living like in middle class, upscale neighborhoods. Matter of fact, my parents were just starting out. It's a little bit apartment as years went on. And my dad's career, blossomed. My mom's career blossomed. And they started making more money, going back to school, making more money, getting raises. this, that, and the third savings. Moved up to, a house, and then like another bigger house, and then a bigger house with a bigger spread. That's just the process. Like I say, it took years for that. But again, they was started out definitely in the hood. So money ain't got nothing to do with you reading to your kids. Now, maybe you saying that we ain't got no books. But again, that's, I'm gonna say, it's the parents' fault, because every damn thing that you order on Amazon, to this day, I got books that I order from Amazon all the time. Matter of fact, I had to slow down ordering books because I got so many books in my bookshelf and in my room that I haven't even read yet. And I'm in the middle of reading, and I have to catch up on some reading. So, but again, this is stuff that was instilled in me as a child. And to this day, I still enjoy reading because I enjoy learning, gaining knowledge. Because, matter of fact, that's what kids love doing. That's why I don't understand, like, why you kids can't read in third grade. That means you ain't putting no effort in your children. Oh shit, you used to watch Sesame Street back in the day. Come on now. They still got no Sesame Street is on HBO, but you know what else is on? YouTube. There are a lot of learning videos, shows that you can get for free on YouTube that you don't even have to get off your butt to parent. You can do what you are already doing and just hand the device to your kids, but making sure that they're doing something educational. And you say, well, I can't watch them. You know how you can watch them? You know how you can monitor what they're doing? Like I say, without having to get off your butt and being so busy being a parent, make them write it down. Simple as that. Make them write down what they're learning. You know what I'm saying? It's like, or make them come back and repeat it to you. I mean, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult at all. But I'm just, like I said, I'm passionate about it because even my own children, I would do the same thing to them. I would read to them growing up. Every summer, they had to read. If they didn't have what they call it, the little reading programs. If you read so much, you get some kind of gift card to, I don't know, pizza place, or get you a free book from the library, something like that. But they would have to read all the time. And then even when they got older and those little programs weren't offered in older classes, I'll make them read in the summer. High school, look, you gotta read this book for them. Even when me and their moms, like, divorced, got a divorce, and we wasn't together. Even my daughter, even she wasn't with me, I said, hey, this is a book. You gonna read when she come with me, stay with me, like, but anytime she would be with me, it's like, oh, you ain't finna sit in that room and do nothing all weekend, and you ain't finna sit in that room and do something all summer, all spring break. I need you to read this book. And that's just what, that's just how I roll. That's just the rules of my house, because basically, being a black man in the South, one thing I felt that had to happen was that you have to be educated. My kids could not just be dumb. You know what I'm saying? My parents would let me do it, and I can't let my kids do it. They have to be educated. They can't go out there in them streets and embarrass themselves, embarrass my name out there not knowing how to read, write, do some math, you know what I'm saying, not open to learning, not excelling in what they're doing. Just couldn't do it, because I see what happens to people who don't apply themselves. See it all the time. See it in family, friends, people I don't know, people I do know. It is more to life out there than, like I say, doing nothing. But anyway, let's get back into this story, because, like I say, I can go on a tirade for a long time. Like I say, this is something I'm passionate about, is reading, because there's no reason in the world. I won't say no reason in the world, but there's very, very small reason in the world why kids should not know how to read. Because kids enjoy learning, man. They love learning. They love going outside playing. They love learning. You got parents who don't even put in you ain't got to put in a whole lot of effort. It don't take much to keep kids happy. It said the third grade retention legislation just went into effect this school year, but already state lawmakers have filed at least 18 proposals to try to address concerns about the new reading law that could force tens of thousands of third graders here and across the state to attend summer school this year to avoid being held back if they don't show proficiency on that test. One, like I said, parents got the letters. When you got that letter, you should have went to the library. You should have went to Amazon, ordered some books. You should have went to the library, rented some books out, checked some books out. Should have went on YouTube and had your child learn how to read. You should have done. There's a whole lot of stuff you could have done to get your child ready for this test in a short amount of time. Your child could probably be up to a junior high reading level if you implemented some kind of program at the beginning of summer. By the end of the summer, I would guarantee they know how to read by junior high level. Because reading ain't that hard. It really isn't. Once you get to know the letters and get to learn the sounds, and it's all about repetition, it's not hard at all, man. Patrick Cripps, director of schools in DeKalb County, told WJLE that he doesn't like the third grade retention law. A child could be advanced in math or science, but they are determined, quote unquote, below or approaching an ELA, that student will be held back. There are many factors that go into a child's education, and to allow one test to be a snapshot as to whether a student moves up to the next grade level or not based on one test is not fair. I agree. The child should be proficient in everything. Which again, now I'm gonna bring it to the schools. Your job is to educate these kids. How in the heck are you gonna educate kids in math and science if they can't read? So you tell them how to count money and cook crap, but you ain't teach them how to read. I'm sorry, I didn't say that, but I said it. But you can't teach them how to read? Really? How is that even possible? How is that even possible? As an educator, I would be embarrassed to even say something about that. Me, myself, if I would have got a letter saying, hey, if your child can't read by this, if your child cannot read at this grade level, they're gonna be put back. Oh, we're gonna make sure the kids can read. I'm gonna make sure my child can read. We're gonna make sure our kids in class gonna be able to read. But for some reason, that wasn't important to y'all. But we're mainly worried about kids getting held back. If you don't have proficiency scores, you lose the little funding that you get in the public school. It says several bills in the state legislature will gut the retention provision altogether, while others will keep the law mostly intact, but extend related state-funded summer and after-school programs beyond this year. It says some measures will give authority back to the local schools. That would make it to where they won't hold nobody back. Let's see. The controversial laws passed in 2021 during a week-long special legislative sessions called by Governor Bill Lee to address the learning disruptions caused by coronavirus pandemic. Now this is just excuses, because again, there are many ways that kids can learn how to read during the COVID outbreak. This, like I said, but this is nothing new. That's the thing about it, because matter of fact, let's scroll down here. It says in 2011, which was about 12 years ago, lawmakers passed a retention law to try to address the problem, but the statute was largely unenforced. So you had plenty of time to make sure that these kids are able to read. But now something happened, and now you panic and you want to cry. Oh no, player, it's too late. It's too late. You know what I'm saying? Them kids should be held back. Matter of fact, the kids should be homeschooled. You know, so take out the public schools and be homeschooled, because, like I said, because the public education system is terrible. It said, what else it got? It said reading scores have been mostly stagnant in Tennessee, with only about a third of the state's third graders meeting the law's high threshold for proficiency. That's not a high threshold. You're supposed to read at a third grade level. My kids have never read at or below the level of the grade they was in. No. Whenever they did like reading proficiencies in school, there was always at least 2-3 grades above ahead where they were supposed to be. That's just it, because I used to make my kids read. Matter of fact, I remember a story where over the summer, I had my daughter reading so much that when she went back to school, I remember going to pick up from school and the teacher was like, man, you know, your child can read great. Man, it must have taught her. She must have had good teachers last year. A lot of these kids can't even read. And live in the suburbs. Okay. And I'm like, I want to sit there and say, no, teachers ain't taught her crap. I taught her this. I made her read it all summer. That's why she can read so good. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even think I would be that involved in my child's life, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. It says third graders are exempt from attention if they were retained in a previous grade or may have a disability that affects reading, or English language learners with less than 2 years of English instruction, or retest as proficient before the beginning of the fourth grade. So I can understand, like I said, we gotta learn this disability. I get it. Yeah, some kind of disability where you can't read, you know, don't have access. Because there are some people who may not have access to certain things, but this is where the school's supposed to step in. Like, let's say you got a kid whose mom got 2 jobs, really don't have time, and I'll take that back, really don't have time to, you know, watch over kids, because you can't just leave kids by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because they would do this and that. But if that's the case, then schools should be stepping up. You know, churches, definitely churches, should be stepping up to help teach these kids. I don't see that nowhere in this article about religious organizations helping these kids to learn how to read. Not at all. It said, although the law provides options for students to retake the test during the summer, Director Cripps said challenges remain for students and their families. It said if a student doesn't pass his test, or if the student is below or approaching, he or she has options to take it during the summer break. The problem is that the TCAP during the school year is on paper and pencil, and the one during the summer is on computer, and that is a totally different setup for a kid from the way the first test was given. Man, the kids stay on the computer. Man, give me something else. First to move on with that. Okay, so it said, of course, the turnaround time is supposed to be pretty quick in getting those scores back. So if a student fails to pass again, he or she can come to a summer school, or they can choose tutoring for the fourth grade year and still move on, but they have to attend 90% of the time. So this is why these kids get to move up and still ain't educated, because they're like, okay, we'll move you up, but you have to promise to go to tutoring? Like, really? I ain't been tutoring yet. That's why extra work for students during the summer, Cripps explains, could also create a hardship for families. You are really pigeonholing families. There are things that have going on in the summer that a kid has no control over, and this dictates how parents schedule their summertime. I have a problem with that, said Director Cripps. There are other avenues that need to be looked at, and I do appreciate that they are planning to allow us to have a little say whether a kid goes on, because I have a problem with one test determining if a child goes on to be a fourth grader or not. It's tough. It's what about the kid? He gets to high school, he's a 19-year-old. It's tough enough to keep kids in school engaged at 18 years old. I can't imagine having 19-year-old kids and how that's going to affect their graduation rate. Shoot, there's a whole lot of them like that. I knew kids 19, 20, you know what I'm saying, in school back in the day. Come on, I mean, again, but again, like I say, I go back to like blaming the parents. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the parents' responsibility. You have kids, you chose to have them babies, so it's your responsibility to take care of them. Make sure they, you know what I'm saying, make sure they make it. If you can't do it, find somebody else who can do it better. But give them kids a future. You understand what I'm saying? Now you don't have to just keep them there with you, and you know, you say, I'm a great parent, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep my kids. Okay, you keeping your kids and you working 3-4 jobs, and this dude out here ain't reading, ain't writing, ain't doing no math, out here in the streets doing God knows what. But you being the best parent. Nah, come on now, let's get off of that. Let's get off of that. You gotta do what's best for the child, not what's best for your reputation as a parent. You know you can't take care of them, you know what I'm saying, get some help. You know, you may not get the help you want, but get the help you need. It said the law currently provides for a 9-step process, beginning with initial tests. If the student doesn't succeed on that, they are deemed below average, and there's a short form TCAP, along with the process of tutoring, going to summer school, etc. But there are challenges with those from a local school district standpoint. Finally, there's appeal process and yada, yada, yada. Whatever. So here's the thing, y'all. I'm not backing off of who fault this is. This is the adults. Children do not know how to function in the world. They just don't. They could. They be working and paying bills at 9 years old. It doesn't work that way. We as parents, I'm gonna say more than parents, we as a community have to do better for the children of the community. Now, again, we can sit here, so we can blame everybody else, and then hide our hands. So we can throw rocks. But this ain't throw stones and hide your hands. But if we don't support, we don't help out at least one child. That's what I'm currently doing right now. You know what I'm saying? I got a child that I'm how you say that I have somewhat of a guardianship over. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of, pretty much raising. You feel me? Doing it for the last 4 years, and they got a few years to go. But it's what you do, whether it's family, friends, or something. You find one person. If you are able to read and write and help anyway, you know what I'm saying? Give away books. So we got like a Black History Museum out here in the town I live in, and right in the front. And also the park out here in this town. They got little library boxes, books where you can donate. And you can either donate it or you can take a book. I've seen people grab the book, but at the park I saw like a family, grab the book, I guess, to go over there and read the kids. You may have to bring it back, I'm not sure. But you see a mobile library van at the dang on park. But for some reason, in the black side of town with the African American Museum, I pass by that Sun Gun a lot, and I always see the same books. Well, same stack look like in that little box. Why are we not getting them books out for our kids? See what I'm saying? It's sad, and we got to do better. This is just Tennessee. I'm sure it's happening all over the country. Like I said, everybody has standardized tests that you have to pass. Kids have to pass in order for these schools to continue to get this government funding. So. But we as adults, like I said, we gotta play a part. I know we got time to send our kids to sports, got time to sit there and cheer them on, got time to have aspirations of them going to the NFL, the NBA, but we're not taking the time out to make sure they got just basic education. And like I say, we as a community, each one of us has to do better. Instead of blaming everybody, figure out what you can do to help this issue, to correct this issue. Anyway, that's all I got. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment below and then share it with the world. With that being said, leave in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.